I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walk the mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, applied myself.
My bad, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back with another one. I forgot to add myself. That's why y'all was staring at a black wall. My fault. But I'm here. Sorry about that, fellas. Sorry about that. I would like to, we're going to go over yesterday in college basketball, a little bit of yesterday in college basketball, and we're going to go over today. I got 5 games for y'all today. It's coming up later in the show. But before I do that, I would like to ask that y'all leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps the network grow. It helps the channel. It helps, my channel, CTC, by way of the Refuse to Lose Network. It helps the main show, featuring Joe Tom on Dave, who went live earlier this morning at 9 o'clock. It helps Baseball with Teddy, who went live earlier around 3:30. I was asleep, so I do got to catch that myself. My bad, Teddy. I can't remember which team he previewed because, like I said, I was asleep. You got FFC, be on the lookout for him. Fantasy football with Coach Coombs. You got Kings Talk, who just went live. Joe just went live to talk about the Cavs and Kings. Didn't listen to it yet, but I could imagine it wasn't nothing good for the Kings. Kings kind of got whooped on the road. You got RBO, Real Ballers Only, featuring Vaughn, where he talks about guys in the rough, rookies, stuff like that, guys on the rise. He goes live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And you got Dave's Doghouse. Sorry about that, Dave. Who's going to go live, I believe, tomorrow. And then you got last but certainly not least in the red corner featuring Ty, Ricky, and Fast Camp. So just please, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe with anybody that you think would like this kind of content. Helps us out. Listen to a couple videos. And if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. Now, just going to go quickly over 2 games of college basketball yesterday. So yesterday in college basketball, Virginia, just on another heater, remains undefeated at home, destroys University of Miami 38-60. Miami, probably one of the lowest points I've ever seen Miami put up in a game in recent memory. Just could not get a lot going. Dumb turnovers. Just couldn't hit shots. They only hit 17 points at halftime. Finished with 21 in the second half. So 17, 21, 38. Virginia, man, just had it going, hitting from beyond the arc, playing tough defense, causing turnovers, just making plays. Just stifled this Miami offense, stifled those Miami guards. Miami was just trying too bad, in my opinion, to hit a bunch of home run plays. Shout out to Ty. Can't agree with the second comment. I like Miami basketball team, but I can't agree. But yeah, Miami, I just feel like they were trying to make too many home run plays on offense, and they kept getting stolen. Just a bunch of indecisiveness. Just didn't recognize Miami last night. Jim Larranaga tried to call timeout to galvanize the troops, and it was unsuccessful. Now, I do know that Keshawn George, he got hurt. He didn't come back. He only played 4 minutes, didn't come back due to injury. I think Larranaga tried to put him back in with like 7 minutes left or 7 minutes into the first half, and I think I saw him mouth. I'm not that great at reading lips, but I think he said, I can't go back in, signaling that his injury was that bad. Now, again, I'm not a lip reader by any means, so I could be well off, but that's what I thought I saw him say. Yeah, man, just shout out to Virginia. Another huge victory to go 8-3 in the ACC. Just they're on a heater throughout the ACC. UVA, North Carolina, UVA, Duke is going to be a blast to watch. Now, the second game I wanted to talk about, man, I talked about it yesterday. The ghost of Manhattan upsets, the Sunflower Showdown, where Kansas goes into Manhattan and leaves with an L. And Tyler Perry, Arthur Kaluma, Will McNair, they put their names in that book as well. I brought up when Kamal Stokes and Dean Wade were able to pull it off a couple years back. I brought up when Marquise Noel and Keontae Johnson did it just last year. And now Tyler Perry with 26 beats Kansas 75-70 in overtime in Manhattan. What a game it was, a back and forth. Now, Kansas, Hunter Dickinson was pretty much in check for the most part. Kevin McCullough uncharacteristically missed a bunch of free throws in that game. Can't remember who was at the line. I think they split a pair, if I'm not mistaken, but late game. But Tyler Perry, some huge shots. He had 2 huge buckets towards the end of the first half, a 3 and a layup, a crazy layup. Cam Carter came out in the game hot, 2 threes. Kaluma was just doing the dirty work, doing what he do, fighting down low, doing like the glue guy that he is, transfer from Creighton. Kansas, they looked to make a late push to win the game, but K-State never gave up, forced overtime. And in OT, Tyler Perry and the boys got it done. Huge loss by Kansas after coming off a huge win against Houston. But, man, Allen Fieldhouse, they were away from Allen Fieldhouse. You're in a huge rivalry game, like I said, the Sunflower Showdown. And they got clipped yesterday. Shout out to Kansas State, man. Just like I said, shout out. Like Tyler Perry said, a lot of grace to put on that Kansas State uniform. And he's another one to do so. And way to edge yourself in that book of upsets that will go down in K-State history for a long minute. He's now cemented as a Wildcat. But that's it for yesterday in college basketball. Just 2 quick games to go over. We got 5 games for y'all tonight. First one, obviously, South Carolina, first game in 7 years, 6-7 years with that number beside that school name. Take on Ole Miss in Columbia this afternoon, 6:30 on SEC Network. Ole Miss is led by Allen Flanagan, 16.8 points per game, 1.7 steals per game, and 6.8 rebounds per game. Matt Morrell, 16.8 points per game. Oh, wait, hold on. I wrote the wrong stats. All right, so I think Flanagan's averaging 15.7, and Matt Morrell's averaging 16.8. I think I wrote Matt Morrell's. Hold on, excuse me. Either way, Matt Morrell's averaging 1.8 steals and 16.8 points per game, and Jalen Murray, 14.5 points per game and 4.2 assists per game. Their key bench players are T.J. Caldwell and Brandon Murray. Brandon Murray sounds familiar. It's the transfer from LSU and Georgetown. They are 18-4, 5-4 in SEC play. Their 4 losses all have come to the SEC. 3 on the road. They have been swept by Auburn. They have a loss to LSU on the road, and they have a loss to, was it Arkansas on the road? I want to say it was Arkansas. Don't quote me, but I think it was Arkansas. But I know they lost 3. Their 3 out of their 4 their losses have been SEC road losses on the road against South Carolina. Now, South Carolina is led by Meechie Johnson, 14.9 points per game, 4.2 rebounds per game. BJ Mack, 13.8 points per game and 5.1 rebounds per game. Talon Cooper, 10.3 points per game, 4.4 rebounds and assists per game. Talon Cooper has been doing a really good job leading the troops, just facilitating the rock. Meechie Johnson's been scoring when we need to, facilitating the rock as well. Not taking as much bad shots as I have seen him take in the past, not with South Carolina, but with Ohio State. In terms of our bench players, is Jacoby Wright and Josh Gray. South Carolina is on a 5-game win streak. We're 19-3, like I said, on yesterday's episode, 7-2 in the SEC, 5-game win streak. And for that reason there, I'm taking us to beat them in Columbia. I just think that's a huge home court advantage. We got a whiteout going on today at 6:30. Saw a video they was handing out donuts, encouraging students to come to the game. I think it's going to be a live atmosphere. And the fact that Ole Miss has dropped 3 road SEC games does factor into my choice of picking South Carolina to win tonight. Our next game, Clemson at UNC, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Clemson is led by, as y'all know from Saturday's episode, P.J. Hall. 19.9 points per game and 7 rebounds per game. Joe Girard with 14.7 and Chase Hunter with 12 points per game. Now, Clemson's 14-7, 4-6 in ACC play. Lost by 10. Excuse me. They have played already, and Clemson lost by 10 at home against UNC. I think the score was 65-55. UNC is led by R.J. Davis, 21.3 points per game. Armando Bacot, 13.9 points per game, 9.9 boards per game, and 1.8 blocks per game. Harrison Ingram, 12.5 points per game and 9 rebounds per game, coming off of a double-double against Duke. I think it was 21-13. Now their key bench players are Seth Trimble and Jalen Withers, 18-4 overall, only one ACC loss, and that was on the road to Georgia Tech. But they're at home tonight, and for that reason, again, just at Chapel Hill, it is just crazy. They cannot lose. And I'm going with North Carolina to beat Clemson. Now, North Carolina, they got Clemson does have two bigs, and Ian Shefflin and P.J. Hall, but Armando Bacot faced them before, and they had won. Now, Bacot, in my opinion, if I remember correctly, was struggling in the beginning, kind of got it together a little late. But, yeah, those two bigs that Clemson have can pose a little trouble. It's really the guard play for North Carolina that'll help them. If Cadeau, like I said, if he limits the turnovers, North Carolina's a tough squad to beat. And I'm going to take UNC to beat Clemson tonight at 7. My next game I have for y'all. I went the wrong way. Next game I got for y'all is Iowa State at Texas. Now, Iowa State ranked team is coming in as a road dog, as you might have thought. Texas is coming off a key win against TCU at TCU, so that could be the reason why TCU is not TCU. Texas is favored in this one. Iowa State is coming off the road loss to Baylor, in a close one that could have very well switched, and Baylor could have very well lost. Again, it was literally, if a couple more ticks was on that clock, Baylor would have lost that game. Iowa State hit that buzzer beater. But Iowa State, as y'all know from Saturday's show, led by Keyshawn Gilbert, 13.7 points per game, 4.7 rebounds per game, and 4.3 assists. Milan Milosevic, 13.1 and 3.3 rebounds. The guy, again, that hit the buzzer beater, just not in time. And Taman Lipsey, 13.9 points per game, 5.2 rebounds per game, 5.7 assists per game. Bench players include Curtis Jones and Jackson Pavlovsky. Now 16-5, 5-3, in Big 12 play. I think they're all tied for first place. Well, technically a half a game back of Houston. Houston's played one extra Big 12 game. They all have 3 losses in the loss column. Who's up top of the Big 12? But Houston just has the extra win because they played the extra game and won it. So they're technically up top, but everybody else is like a half a game below them. Texas is led by Max Asmith, 17.7 points per game, 4.3 assists per game. Dylan DeSue, 15.3 points per game, 4.4 rebounds per game. Tyrese Hunter, 11.7 points per game and 4.2 assists per game. Key players include Brock Cunningham and Ethel Horton. Texas is now 15-7, 4-5 in Big 12 play. In this game here, I'm going to go with Iowa State on the road to win it. Iowa State defense does travel. I think it will travel well. I think it will cause a what's the word I'm looking for? I think that will wreak havoc on Texas' offense. Now, Texas does have the athletes to match with Iowa State. They can do their own damage to Iowa State with Dylan DeSue, Brock Cunningham, and Dylan Mitchell, guys like that. But I think Iowa State's defense, it'll be causing havoc. Max Asmith cannot afford to be inconsistent tonight. He has to bring his A game. But I think Iowa State can disturb him, throw different looks at Max Asmith, causing him to miss a couple shots, not even getting a bunch of clean looks off. I'm going to roll with Iowa State in this matchup. My next game I got for y'all is Texas Tech. Texas Tech at Baylor. Baylor coming off the huge win against Iowa State. Texas Tech coming off the loss against Cincy. Texas Tech is 23rd. Baylor's ranked 13th. Texas Tech is led by Pop Isaac, 17.6 points per game, 3.5 assists per game. Joe Toussaint, 12.5 points per game and 4.2 assists per game. And Warren Washington, 10.3 points per game, 7.6 rebounds per game, and 1.6 blocks per game. Again, you catch this game 9 o'clock on ESPN. Coming in at 16-5, 5-3 The Big 12 play one of those teams tied for like that second place, but really is it second place? On a 2-game losing streak, while Baylor is led by Ray J. Dennis, 13.4 points per game, 6.4 assists per game. Jacoby Walter, 14.5 points per game and 4.6 rebounds per game. And Jalen Bridges, 10.9 points per game and 4.7 rebounds per game. Key players off the bench is Langston Love and Josh Obawana. But I do have to give a shout out to, again, Jaden Nunn for hitting that buzzer beater and one layup to beat Iowa State on Saturday, the transfer from VCU. They come in as mirror records, 16-5, 5-3 in Big 12 play, but they're on a 2-game win streak, beating UCF and Iowa State, 2 really good defensive teams. And for that reason, I am going to go with Baylor at home again to get a huge home win to keep pace with Houston and the Big 12. Again, man, just they already fought 2 good defensive teams. Now Texas Tech can play a little defense themselves at times. Texas Tech problem is with scoring. Baylor can score in bunches, so I'm going to roll with Baylor to beat Texas Tech. I think it's going to be hard for Texas Tech to keep up with these Baylor guards and scoring. Pop Isaacs and Joe Toussaint got their work cut out for them. Warren Washington is a presence around the rim, but these guys, they can hit mid-range, they can hit different kinds of shots. And then Ray J. Dennis is creative around the rim. So I think that's going to be a tough task for the Texas Tech defense to get these guys out the paint and, just from getting to their spots. So I'm going to roll with Baylor in this matchup. And my last game I got for y'all tonight before I get off here, it should be another American League Classic. I have Charlotte at South Florida, 9 o'clock on ESPN2, tied atop the American Conference, both 8-1 in conference play. Both shockingly are up here. Charlotte coming in led by Lucy Patterson, 14.3 points per game. Igor Milicic, Jr., 13 points per game and 8.3 rebounds per game. And Deshaun Jackson, the Washington State transfer, 11 points per game and 5.3 rebounds per game, big fella. Key big bench players are Robert Braswell, the 4th, and Isaiah Folks. Charlotte is 14-7, 8-1 in AAC play with an 8-game win streak. Last loss was January 2nd to SMU. USF, South Florida, I talked about them Saturday with Vaughn. I like this South Florida basketball team led by Chris Youngblood, 14.6 points per game. Selton Miguel off the bench averaging 14.3 points per game, and Keyshawn Pryor, 12.5 points per game, 7.3 boards per game. They are 15-5, 8-1 as well in AAC play. 7-game win streak, last loss being January 7th to UAB, who was also on another heater until they took a loss to SMU. But USF, man, they play defense. Charlotte can play defense. I just think it's going to be the battle of wills and who will break. Honestly, it was tough for me to pick a team in this one. I just went with the home team. I tell you all the time, if I got a tough battle where I can't pick who's going to win, I normally lean the home team because that is a home court advantage, especially in the college basketball atmosphere. So I went South Florida to win this game. Man, it's tough. I can't even give you like a full reason why I think they'll beat Charlotte because I can give you reasons why I think Charlotte would beat South Florida and vice versa. So I just literally leaned on the home team in this one. It's going to be a great game. I see the score being in like the 50s or 60s. Coming down to maybe who got the ball last or who can get that last stop. It's going to be tough for both teams. Lucy Patterson can score in bunches. You got Jaden Reed who can shoot the ball well from beyond the arc. Keyshawn Pryor who can shoot the ball, who's I think like 6'10", but can move like a guard. You got Chris Youngblood, a phenomenal scorer. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. It's a tough game for both sides. So I'm going to rock with South Florida because they're at home. But, hey, I wouldn't say that's an automatic win for them guys. So, all right, and that's all I have for y'all today. I will probably be back Saturday for another game day style episode. So if you're part of the Refuse to Lose Family Network, you want to come on this game day style episode, just hit me. We'll make it possible. I know I got to try you. Next time you will see me, I will be in South Carolina. I do have to travel. Debating on when I'm leaving, either tomorrow or Thursday, but I do have to travel, so that's why I'm taking this little break. Have to go to my father's house to get some stuff done, to take care of some stuff for him. But like I said, man, Saturday I'll be back with a game day style episode, so just let me know if you want to join. But until then, I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.